Alright, let's face it, Valorant has a lot of problems. And in this video, I want to go over how I, someone with zero game design experience, would fix it. I want to start this video by saying one thing. Valorant is my favorite game of all time, and I don't expect these changes to be perfect or actually make it into the game. I just think that the game has been on a little bit of a decline recently, and I want to express my thoughts. Anyways, enough yapping, let me actually get into some of the changes I had in mind. By far, my biggest complaint about Valorant isn't even the game, it's the community. And this bothers me a lot, because as a content creator, I'm supposed to be one of the few people who can shape the community. Before I get into my first change, I want to reiterate that I don't have any game design experience, so a lot of these ideas will likely be from other games and stuff that I've seen work in the past. With this in mind, my first idea would be to add an honor system. And unlike some other games, I want this one to feel important. There are a few ways to make an honor system feel important, whether that is incentivizing good behavior or punishing negative ones. I personally feel like Valorant could actually do both. The idea is to have a system scaling from honor 0 to 5, similar to League of Legends. Have everyone start at honor level 2, and have the players who get reported in game and actually get penalized have their honor decreased by 1 level. If a player reaches honor level 0, have them be set in a low priority queue and decrease their XP gains. This would make it so being honor level 0 is actually a really bad thing to have and something that players would want to avoid. Enough of talking about low honor though, let's talk about the rewards for the system if you are higher honor level. Before that, we need to quickly talk about how players would actually gain honor. Thankfully, I think it would be really simple. Because you can't really do much with the system like this, I think it would be simple for after the match you get a screen of all your teammates and enemies for the game and can pick between 3 of them to give an honor to. Once a player receives a certain amount of honors, their level should go up. To make the system easier to understand, I think players should be able to see how close they are to leveling their honor up. Otherwise it could feel like you're grinding for honor and you don't really know where you're at, and I think it would cause a lot of confusion. But now let's talk about the rewards to the system. It's essentially the opposite of the penalties. Players with a high honor should be rewarded with a higher priority queue and an XP bonus. Along with this, it seems like the perfect chance to reward the players who are truly honorable with a skin. It doesn't have to be the most insane skin ever, but it would be nice to have something. These players should also have a higher chance of being put on the same team with other people who are also high in honor. This would make it so games with high honor feel way more impactful, as all the people on the team should be trying their hardest to win, unlike how it is now. But what do I mean when I say people don't always want to try to win games? Well, that leaves us at a good point to move on to one of Valorant's biggest problems: ranked. Ranked has been on a slow decline for as long as I can remember, and it's because as the game has grown older, nothing in ranked has changed. We have the same ranks, the same rewards, and at higher ranks, the same players. I really don't want to dwell on ranked for too long because I know it's something Riot is looking into already, with new rewards already being planned, but I do want to go over what I want those rewards to be. I personally think that I wouldn't really care about the things like a new flex or a spray. Although these would be super cool to have, it's not really different from the gun buddy that we already have. It's just something else that players would use a few times and then get bored of. Do you want to know something I think a lot of players would actually care about? A ranked based skin line. This would incentivize so many more people to truly grind for a high rank because it means the game becomes more free to play friendly. All you have to do to get your first ever Vandal skin is play a few ranked games. Could you really tell me that you wouldn't do it? Along with this is something that very few people would care about, but the people who would care about it would care a lot. There is currently little to no motivation to getting to Radiant/Rank 1 in the game. Could you imagine a system where the top 5 to 10 players actually get a unique reward? If your ranked skin for the act got augmented by your ending place on the leaderboard, so many more high ranked players would be motivated to actually grind again. This solves the problem that super high ranked has. Because people would be more motivated, there'd be more people to play against in your games. Well, let's say Riot doesn't want to give out a full skin for free. What about just some Radiant depending on what rank you end at? They could easily make it so depending on what rank you end at, you get slightly more and more Radiant. Regardless of what rank you are, this would motivate you to play more and truly try to rank up. Ranked has a second problem that has recently become very apparent, and it's that the agent balance is in a pretty weird state right now. I personally think the recent massive balance patch was very good for the game. It aimed to give everyone more chances to pick different agents, with them all still being at an equal power level, and opens the game to having a very diverse meta. Well, if we were talking about pro play. In reality, what this patch did for Ranked was make it so every game all you see is the agents who don't really have to think about what they do. Ranked has always been a just play sort of game mode, because it is very hard to get all 5 of your teammates to work together. So recently, the Ranked meta has really just been 3 characters: Jett, Reyna, and Clove. These characters are by far Valorant's most played agents, and it really isn't even that close, with Clove being the worst defender by far. Clove, even after the recent nerfs, still sits at the very top of Valorant's most picked agents with an insane 78% pick rate. Along with their 57% win rate, it's very clear that this agent really isn't balanced well. I think that's okay. What's important to remember is why Clove was created: to solve the problem of not having a controller in your games. However, Riot does need to step up and make some of the other agents better to offset how good Clove is. With a few buffs to agents like Brimstone and Astra, I really feel like we could have a lot more diversity in ranked games again. Alright, with all that talk about ranked and balance, let's take a step back to talk about something that everyone can understand: skins. Valorant has a very slight problem recently where the overall price of skins has been going up and up. I don't really know how I feel about this. I feel like the skin price is getting higher and higher, but I also feel like the quality is also rising. But I have to be honest with you, this section has nothing to do with the actual price of skins. It has to do something that, in my opinion, makes the prices of the skins 10 times worse: Radiant. Radiant is one of Valorant's 3 currencies in the game, along with Valorant points and Kingdom credits. The problem with Radiant is that there's only really 2 ways to obtain it. Either you buy the battle pass, which in my opinion is the best option, or you just buy it by itself. However, with the price of Radiant, unless you are a full-time streamer, this is really just a waste of money. Even if you are a full-time content creator, buying Radiant sometimes doubles or even triples the price of the actual bundle. As an example, let's look at Valorant's newest skin, Aura by One Tap. I personally, after using this bundle for about a week, have really liked how the skins feel in game. However, this bundle costs 9,900 Valorant points, which is about $100 USD. I currently only use the Vandal and Knife. You don't know why? If I were to buy enough Radiant to fully upgrade every skin in the bundle, it would raise the price from $100 to over $250. This is completely insane to me considering the skin's already high price, and because I've already finished this act's battle pass, I won't end up getting enough to upgrade everything until at least the next act, which is in around 2 months. This makes me overall not want to buy new skins that I otherwise might think about buying, like Sentinel of Light Phantom, which recently came into my shop, but I decided to pass because I wouldn't be able to fully use it for 2 months. So how would I fix this? I think there are multiple ways to solve an issue like this, but they all involve making Radiant easier to obtain. In my opinion, they could make it so the battle pass now is a section past the epilogue, where every 5 to 10 tiers, you would get an extra 10 Radiant. This incentivizes the player to continue playing even after they've already finished the battle pass, as there's still something to work for. A different solution would be to use Riot's third form of currency, which is currently fairly underused: Kingdom credits. Kingdom credits are currently used for unlocking things like agent contracts and using them in the accessory shop. However, a lot of people won't really pay attention to things like this. If Riot were to make a feature where you can trade 10,000 Kingdom credits for 10 Radiant, it would be another way to keep people playing Valorant, as the only way to obtain Kingdom credits is to play matches. Something I think we can all agree on is that content that is rushed is a lot worse than content that is fully polished. However, for me, the game is just getting a little stale. I don't expect anything in this video to actually make it into the game, but on the off chance a Riot dev is watching this video, I hope you take some of these ideas into consideration, even if it's just for a split second. I'm truly passionate about this game. It has the potential to pass games even like League of Legends, which has been one of the most popular games for over 16 years. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot if you could like and sub, as I want to hit 10k by the end of the year and we still need 4,000 subs. If you are a longtime viewer and liked content like this, make sure to let me know in the comments, as I don't want to just be the Waylay player forever. I want to branch out and do other stuff like this. As a final note, I sometimes stream over at twitch.tv/almondfps and would love to see you over there. Alright, bye bye!